Okay, so we got all three of you guys here to talk about boxing, which is really interesting. First of all, Devon Palermo, founder of DPI Fitness and a board member of USA Adaptive Boxing. Alec Pritchard, USA Adaptive Boxing head coach and also a board member. And Joanna Bonilla, a boxer and a coach also. And I'm going to throw this out to all three of you, and you can answer it as you please. But right off the top, you go to USA Boxing and you tell them that you've got some people with significant disabilities who want to box and you want to get sanctioned. How do they reply? Because they have to be thinking, oh my God, this could be a complete catastrophe.
Correct. I mean, that's really summing it up really quickly. It was a lot of back and forth, and ultimately, what we found was USA Boxing, I guess, was not prepared or was not comfortable with how to scale differing abilities. I think their comfort level is currently at lower limb amputees performing adaptive boxing. So the feedback that we received was to move forward and have these adaptive boxing demonstrations or exhibitions, showcase how we classify, showcase how we match, and demonstrate the skill of the sport for our adaptive boxers. And so that's what we've been doing and pushing forward with.
Did you feel, and feel free, the other two of you, to please chime in. Did you feel at any point that you were getting a pushback or resistance, or did you feel somewhat more welcomed? I mean, did USA Boxing, did they think this could be a pretty good idea and there's a reason to move forward? Joanna?
Um, I do think that USA Boxing does feel like it's a good idea, but I also believe that they're being extremely cautious and they want us to kind of do the foundation work for it first to make sure that it is something that has potential for growth and that people are interested in. So we've taken on that task to show everybody that the adaptive community is ready to bring on this sport and kind of take over it. So just kind of proving to USA Boxing that that there are people that are committed, boxers out there that really want to take this on. So I think they're interested, but they're being very cautious about it.
Yeah, which is very prudent. And Alec, when we were talking a few days ago, you were telling me that one of the starting points was really to, gather trust that this was more a sport than it was just people, beating each other up in the middle of the ring, that you were building the foundation of this around fitness, skills, and drills, and trying to get the commission and the public to understand that this isn't just about, getting to the middle of the ring and getting a knockout.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's something that we think about every training session that we have. It's consistency, it's the skills, and it's not just let me go up to a punching bag and throw my fist at this thing. It's a lot of commitment to this is what a jab looks like, this is what a hook looks like, this is how we do all of those things safely. And before you even get into the ring with another boxer to get into sparring or an official match, I mean, there's that minimum, weeks, months of training one on one in a group setting with certified coaches to make sure you're going to be safe when you do that.
Joanna, there's so many other, Devon, do you box also?
I do not. I do not currently. I'm just a coach. I when I was younger, I did some boxing, and I was in the gyms working with competitive boxers. But since that time, I no.
Okay, so Joanna, you have so many opportunities out there in the adaptive sports world. There's basketball and there's racing and there's tennis and there's swimming. Um, why get involved in boxing? What was the draw for you, and why? And give me an idea of what it is that you get out of this, and why you think that the sport has the potential to move forward. What's so exciting about it for you?
What's so exciting about boxing is that it starts as a community. Although it is an individual sport, the club that we have formed, there's a lot of camaraderie. There's teamwork behind it, and my background it comes from soccer, and it imitates that a lot when it comes to training together, working really hard, and the outcome solely it's always yours to see what you're going to bring to the team, to the club, to the sport. And I think from the beginning, boxing to me wasn't something I wanted to do. I actually was intimidated by it. But the more you get to learn about boxing, you get to see that there's a science behind it. It's a really pretty sport. It's not all about just going in there, punching someone, knocking someone out. It's really about chess playing. It's about a beautiful dance that I've started to see more and understand more. And it's challenging for me. It's built up my confidence, self esteem, and I feel like a stronger, independent woman in a wheelchair, which I did not feel like prior to doing this. And as a coach, that's what I want to implement to everybody that comes into this sport, to show them that it's not only just a sport, but it can really build you out as a person.
Well, great answer. I was looking at a few of the rules and some of the various different things that are involved with the sport. And first of all, the classifications. You've likened it, and I think Alec, I think you were the one telling me that in many ways that this classification system much mimics that of fencing. And so a Class A boxer, good trunk, good balance, probably your optimum boxer. And the B class is trunk impairment, decent balance, and then C, you have some limitations and some balance issues. So you have three solid classifications. When you go to get a boxer classified or put together to box, you want to try and level the playing field. How intense is the process so that you make the playing field as level as humanly possible?
I think currently, we've been having a hard time with that just because there's not a lot of adapted boxers. But as we've been doing the different exhibitions and showcases, we're starting to get more and more interest. So it's getting a little bit easier to classify and to match up. For example, traditional weight classes, a lightweight would be between 130 and 135 pounds. For us, in order to get a niche of a classification ability as well as weight class, we need to open up that a little bit more. So our lightweight division would be, for example, 130 to 170. So that we have a broader area that we can match someone evenly. But as more fighters are coming, we can tighten those things up a little bit more and ensure that it is a full level playing field.
Devon, someone comes into your gym and they say that they would really like to try this. And so what's the starting point? I mean, assuming that they have some sort of fitness, athletics under their belt, they have a base understanding of what it takes and the discipline and the commitment. How do you take them through the process to get from, I think I'd like to try boxing, to the point where maybe they get into the ring for their first time? What's the process?
That's a great question. Everyone that comes in, they start with joining our team of adaptive boxers, going through in unison warm up drills that are designed at the top level of USA boxing. We've modified it for our adaptive boxers. So all of them go through the warm ups together. They go through a strength and conditioning circuit that really challenges their endurance and different strengths that you need in boxing, from trunk movement to back strength to power explosive movements, and then we go into partner drills, and there's no real hitting initially. It's more tag drills, learning how to be in front of someone, learning how to throw your punches, getting that good foundation. As people start to fall in love with the sport, because that is truly what happens, the more you do these exercises, you start falling in love with the different things and you want to level yourself up. When that starts happening, that's where we start putting in for what's called situational sparring. Situational sparring is where you get a little bit of that bug bites that person. They either love it or it's not for them. With
Right.
situational sparring, we're creating, all right, this is what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Show me how you're going to react. All right. And then from there, it elevates. So now we're doing light sparring, and then a little bit more intense sparring. And now someone wants a match. So now you're in training camp for a match. So I think it really starts off with everyone welcomes that new boxer. Everyone trains with them. There's all beginners, our veterans, our new boxers, everyone's together. All right. And then from there, it kind of, that person will either grow or they'll decide that it's more, they're in love with the fitness side of it.
And Alec, I know how passionate you are about this. What is it that you bring to the table when, where do you pick up where Devon perhaps left off as head coach, as a motivator? What is it that you bring to the table that helps the potential boxer move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the the biggest thing isn't so much a skill set as much as is just try to carry forward that passion to keep everybody excited about the sport, engaged in their training, and trying to bring just a different perspective because just like no boxer and no athlete trains the same, no coach trains, a boxer the same way as well. And so I know between the three of us, we all have different ideas, maybe different ways that we would want, our boxer to set up an opponent to try to land a hook or something like that. And so, you know, giving them a lot of different tools on their tool belt to choose from when they're in a match. And so it's just trying to keep things exciting and just trying to give them a lot of options and different perspectives within their training.
Joanna, when you get in the middle of the ring and you're all tied down, you're face to face again with your opponent. Personally, I'm a kind of soft guy. I don't want to be punched in the face. Uh, what's what's it like the first time someone pops you in the face? Even though it's a 9-ounce glove, still hurts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it hurts, but I think that's what training is all about. That's the beauty of the game. Like I know, like the coaches were saying, that punch is going to come to my face. So I'm either going to take it, bite down, or I'm going to move out of the way and get my punch out as well. So definitely intimidating, but I think that's what makes it exciting. That's what, you don't know what to expect and they don't know what to expect from you. So that's where that back and forth playing comes into, which makes it bring it on. Try to give me a good punch and let's see what happens.
How many days a week do you train? How many hours a day do you train? And what's the intensity? Is it a long, hard process from the beginning of the day to the end as you box, or as you train?
So the training is different depending if we are getting prepared for a match, or for an event and just preparing when we're kind of off. So I'm lucky and I get to train every single day. We go on and off with cardio, and then we have a day where I focus just on boxing. At least 2 hours a day is the exercise that I get in. And my coaches have made a good outline for me, like I said, to concentrate on different things that I need to work on: cardio, reaction times, drills. So it's different every single day to kind of keep that mind sharp and that body ready to go whenever we are called up for an event.
So Devon, do you also? I mean, I know at your gym, I did a little bit of reading about it at DPI, and you have a lot of good equipment there. I think I saw that you also have some sort of a riding cycle. So do you focus not just on strength and boxing, but also on the cardiovascular aspect? Because it's is 3 or 4 rounds. I assume the fighters agree to how many rounds they're going to fight, and they're 2 minutes long. That's a pretty long time to have someone throwing punches and just that action and going on for that period of time. There must be some good cardiovascular that you work with too.
Absolutely. We're fortunate that our gym, primarily focuses on adaptive fitness for those, supplementing their physical therapy or right after therapy. So we have a lot of accessible adaptive equipment. With that, the team trains, when we do our coach sessions, they do 1 hour twice a week on strength and conditioning as a group. And that is an intense hour where they're using, different cardio equipment that we have here in the gym, different drills that we have to really challenge them. The circuits run for 2 minutes, just like their rounds would. So we're building that endurance. And I actually am proud to say that our fighters, I've been told by other boxing coaches and other boxing clubs that our fighters are some of the most conditioned fighters that they've seen. And it's because of the intense conditioning schedule that they are on. They can go 2 minutes. You and I would be gassed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So talking about the sport, so hitting, waist up, scoring is done basically through clean targeted blows and control of the ring, the initiation of action. The rounds are either 3 or 4, 2 minutes long with 1 minute rest. And you move up basically by having bouts and increasing your skill level. Gloves 16 ounces, you have chair stabilizers in the middle of there's what I'm saying is you guys have thought this out really well. It seems to me as though you have a good foundation for a sport that could potentially grow one day into an upper echelon, potentially even Paralympic level sport. Is that the goal?
That is the ultimate goal. Absolutely. we've done our research, we've looked around, we've seen how other folks are doing it and not really gaining momentum. And our goal was to make this as safe and as inclusive and as barrier free of an entry point as you can with an adaptive sport. And what I mean by that is most adaptive sports, there's high end equipment that's involved. This does not require that. All it requires is your everyday chair, some boxing gloves, and some stabilizers, and we're making it so that anyone can participate. So you're absolutely right. That is the ultimate goal: is to get this in the Paralympics one day.
Alec, it seems to me as though when we had our discussion that your ultimate goal is safety. Though you want to see people mix it up, and obviously they're going into the ring because they want to mix it up. You keep an eye out for them. You make sure that things are ultimately safe. And one of the rules that I noticed that I think obviously is very solid. Standing 8 count. When a fighter gets in trouble, stop the action, let them regather their senses, and upon the third time that there's a standing 8 count, it's over. It's a TKO. So you have done a lot to convince not only the public, but to help the boxers understand they are safe.
Yes, definitely. And I think, establishing the rules is one of the benefits of the UABC existing as a governing body, is to make sure that any fighter that is taking part in a match that the UABC is sanctioning is protected. The referees, the coaches, we're all looking out for our fighters and all the fighters. So, if anybody takes a really nasty hit, us, like myself and Devon and Joanna as coaches, we're immediately going to be thinking about what happened with our fighter. How are they doing? Are they actually, responding? Are they dazed? Did the ref see that? We're going to be going through all of those conversations internally or with each other to make sure that, they stay safe. And I think safety is going to be paramount for continuing to get traction with new fighters, new gyms, and continuing to grow the sport.
How do people reach out to you guys if they ultimately want to try and give this an opportunity as a potential sport for themselves? Where do you have good resources for people to get the word out, and how and what are your plans to expand this to other cities? Obviously, you're located in the Virginia area, but if you want to get this not even globally, just nationally, what's the plan? Do you have a strategy?
Yeah, currently, social media has been huge. So we've been doing the majority of it through social media and directing folks to the website for the UABC, which is underneath a nonprofit called the Adaptive Fitness Legion. So we direct folks to the adaptivefitnesslegion.org, and there's a link for the UABC, which is their adaptive sports division. We direct them there, and on that you'll learn the classifications, the rules, everything that you need to know about adaptive boxing. There's a profile for folks who are interested to fill out so they can register themselves as an adaptive boxer. And with that, Coach Alec, myself, Coach Joanna, we've been reaching out to everyone that has been registering, which has been a lot recently since we got back from our international fight. And so we have a long list now of
Yeah, 2025, you guys fought in Spain, right?
correct. Correct. So since then, we've been getting more and more folks have been reaching out. So we have a long list of folks. We reach out to them, to their coaches. If it's a USA boxing coach, then we're offering to teach them how to adapt, how to use what accessories to use, and slowly but surely, we're getting other gyms. We just met with a group out of Florida. They're interested in being on board and representing adaptive boxing. We had a call recently with Dallas, Texas, I think, or Fort Worth. And they're interested. So we're growing it just by the presence that we have on social media and by our registry. And folks that are interested can reach out. We have an email address. It's uabc@adaptivefitnesslegion.org.
Fantastic. And Joanna, just out of curiosity, what's your record?
Oh my goodness. 1-1-1?
No, 3.
3-1. My coach knows 3-1.
Okay. And we all know that you guys like to get pumped up with a walk-up song. So what's your walk-up song?
So, Fancy by Ziggy, and it's just, my name is The Real Deal. So when the song starts, it says Real Deal. So we felt it was fitting, for me to come out to and get me all hyped up and excited about it.
I have a feeling my colleague would really like to see me box one day. So maybe I mean I think you'd probably kick my butt, but maybe you could be my first fight. And my colleague has also decided that my nickname is because I'm Italian. I'm going to be the cannoli kid.
I love it. I love it.
But I think I'm a little too soft for that at this point. But we'll see. Hey, I want to thank all three of you. I think the sport of boxing looks like it has a lot of potential. I see a lot of great organization. You've got some great rules in place, and it seems as though you're going places. So, congratulations to all three of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and make this thing grow.
Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you for the time.
You bet.